On this episode of the Hanford Insider, Ashley Nuhfer and Valerie Castles stop by to tell us about the upcoming celebration of National Library Week. You'll get an update of Hanford news and the community calendar. Then later, I'll be back with your sports report. This is the Hanford Insider for Monday, March 31st.
This is the Hanford Insider, the podcast where we dive into what makes our community tick, from local stories and hidden gems to conversations with people shaping our neighborhood. We're here to celebrate, explore, and connect. I'm your host, Rob Bentley. Whether you're new to Hanford or longtime local, this is your source for everything happening in our town. From events and news to unique conversations with people who make Hanford such a unique community. I hope you enjoyed the format. Let's take a look at this week's community news. Last Monday was certainly a day for breaking news in Hanford. The Hanford Chamber of Commerce announced that it's shutting down operations this week. This agency has served many functions over the years, and there seemed to be some struggles behind the front doors when we weren't always aware of it. When news broke, it left many wondering what the future of the Hanford Christmas Parade holds, since the Chamber ran it for so many years. With a lack of volunteers and funding for the event, the community will really have to step in if we want to continue this long-standing tradition. Also last week, it was announced that the Zonneveld family has completed the purchase of Superior Dairy. We're excited to see what they do with it. The Cinderella Project of Hanford is currently accepting donations of new and gently used prom dresses, shoes, purses, or jewelry for the upcoming prom on May 3rd. Donations may be dropped off at the high school district office on Lacey Boulevard across from Carl's Jr. Finally, in City Council news, the Council will meet on Tuesday, April 1st at 4 p.m. for the study session. There'll be a closed session regarding the existing litigation regarding the Hanford Police Department. Once they're done with that, they'll be recognizing Employees of the Year and Service Award recipients, as well as reviewing a capital improvement plan and potential handbook amendments. At the general meeting at 7 p.m., they'll start off with a badge pinning ceremony for 2 new Hanford police officers. They'll then be seeking approval for the agreement with the HPD officers as a result of litigation they reviewed in the study session. It looks like they'll also be approving a permit to make modifications to the courthouse building to make required ADA improvements with an accessible lift and entry. In general business, they'll be considering funding appropriations to continue falconer services in downtown Hanford to keep the crows away. Public Works will present the Refuse Division's current budget challenges and a need for Prop 218 rate study. Finally, they'll be looking at necessary upgrades to the wastewater treatment facility. The Kings Players and Children's Storybook Garden are busy preparing their annual Murder Mystery Dinner coming up on May 10th. I had a chance to visit with Liz Lozano about it.
We're doing another murder mystery. It'll be the 5th annual murder mystery that we have done at the garden. This year's murder mystery focuses around a predominant family who lives along the Mississippi River and owns a steamboat cruise company. And the evening of the murder will happen on one of their steamboats as they host the annual Steamboat Cruise Festival's dinner. And as you know, Rob, in any small community or family, there's always secrets. And where there are secrets, sparks will fly. And we are pretty well sold out, except there might be a few tickets if they call the Storybook Garden, ask to speak to Caitlin. And I think we have maybe about 4 to 6 left. We are very excited that it is sold out this year and last year. And I think that just goes to show how supportive our families and our community is with the arts and the children of our town. We were worried about having a sold-out show last year and surprised when it happened. So this year it was kind of like, I don't know if we can do it again. And we have. And we could not do it without the Hanford community.
Here's some things coming up on our community calendar. The 5th Annual Autism Awareness Run is this Saturday, April 5th at the Quail Run Park beginning at 9 a.m. The Kit Carson School Spring Fling Carnival is coming up this Saturday, April 5th from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. On April 10th, there'll be a National Crime Victims Week ceremony at the Koinonia Church beginning at 6 p.m. The Hanford Fox Theater will be showing the movie Titanic on April 13th. For movie and show information, visit foxhanford.com. On April 18th, the City of Hanford is putting on the annual Egg Hunt in the Civic Park from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. There'll be food vendors, creative arts and crafts, and fun games. There will be 5 divisions for egg hunts, including an adult egg hunt. This should be interesting. The activities are free due to the generosity of Anthem Blue Cross. Finally, I want to remind you each week that there'll be a parade and celebration in downtown Hanford on Saturday, April 26th. This is marking the 50th anniversary of the end of the Vietnam War. In addition to the parade, there'll be a ceremony at 11 in the park. There'll also be food trucks, a beer garden, and a car show. For more information, visit the Hanford Parks and Community Services social media pages. If you have an event coming up and you'd like some help getting the word out, let's work together. Send your information to hanfordinsider@gmail.com. Be sure to subscribe to my weekly newsletter to get a complete calendar of events. It's the most comprehensive community calendar available. Coming up on April 6th through the 12th, we have our National Library Week. And I'd like to welcome Ashley Nuhfer and Valerie Castles to the show. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Hi, Rob. Great to be here again and giving us the opportunity to talk about libraries and friends of the libraries with the community.
Well, let's get right to it, Ashley. We have the National Library Week coming up on April 6th. And can you tell us a little bit about the National Library Week and how we'll be celebrating?
Yeah, I'd love to. So National Library Week is a celebration sponsored by the American Library Association, and it began in 1958. It's, as I said, week-long celebration highlighting the role that libraries and library staff play in our communities. So this year, to celebrate National Library Week here in Kings County, we do have our fine forgiveness, where anyone with up to $25 in late fees can come on in and ask for those with late fees to be waived. We also have replacement library cards, which typically cost $2. We're offering those at no additional fee during National Library Week. And then we have a lot of activities going on that week. A couple different libraries, actually. Our main branch in Hanford. That Monday, we've got Maker Monday, and then we have Wednesday at 3 p.m., and then Thursday at 10 a.m. We have story time. We've got Dungeons and Dragons at 3:30 on Wednesday. Saturday the 12th, we have a Cup of Joe event for veterans and their family members, where they can come on in and just have a chat with, make new friends. And then we also, on that same Saturday the 12th, have 50 things that you can learn to do with Siri on your iPhone at 11. Then over in Kettleman City, at the Kettleman City Library, we have our movie time at 1 p.m. on the 9th. And then in Corcoran, we have a family craft time on the 10th at 3:30 p.m.
Well, those are all great activities. And in case you missed those are all listed on their website at kingscountylibrary.org. So what is so special? Why should we be celebrating Library Week? What makes it such a unique event?
So I think ultimately the reason the National Library Week is so unique is because libraries themselves are really unique. Everything that we offer for our communities is free. Our resources are free. The information's free. We have so many different activities for library patrons of all ages. And in the world today, it's very rare to find a space where you can go and you can be and you can do things and you don't have to spend any money. And I feel like we are so lucky as a community here in Kings County to have that opportunity and to have these spaces all over the place, whether it's in Hanford, Lemoore, we've got Stratford, Corcoran, Kettleman. Over in Armona, we have our community library. We're very, very lucky.
So I know when I interviewed Vicky Cervantes on the show a few months back, she talked about the new initiatives at the library that she's trying to incorporate. And I know that the mobile book van is a very important part of that. Can you share with us a little bit about the mission of the library and the mobile book van?
Yes. So our mobile library, or as we affectionately call it, the Kimbal. The Kimbal visits right now, we have a few different stops. We've got one stop at Valley Christian Home. We have two stops, a morning and an afternoon stop at NAS Lemoore. And we also have one afternoon stop at Seamus Elementary School in Hanford. And the fun thing about the Kimbal is we can go out into the community. We can share those resources to people who can't travel to the library. I know for me personally, I always work the stop at NAS Lemoore. That is always a really good time. And we hear a lot from some of our visitors that maybe they're a family with just one car, and so they can't really get to the library. So it's a very special way to bring the library to people who can't come to the library.
So if people were having a special event, let's say, could they call the library and maybe arrange to have the Kimbal visit their event?
Yeah, absolutely. You can call the library and ask, but you will be directed to our website, kingscountylibrary.org, where you can sign up. It's just a really short form to make sure that you have the proper accommodations. Really, the main concern is, do you have the space to park it? Because she's a beast. She's 35 feet long. So you fill out the form, and then we do our best to accommodate. We do typically ask that we get any requests 4 weeks before an event because we are a small staff. So we're always trying to accommodate as many people as possible.
Yeah, make sure you follow the library system on social media. They have a very active Facebook page that kind of advertises where the Kimbal is going to be and where you can check it out there. Valerie, let's move to you. The Friends of the Library program is something that's been established for quite a while, and I'd like you to update us a little bit about the Friends of the Library program and how they're aiding in the promotion of the National Library Week.
So Friends of the Library has been around since 1982. It was formed by a group of local women and men, primarily to be ambassadors and fundraisers on behalf of the library. So we are delighted to let the community know about Library Week. And since libraries are an essential part of the thriving communities throughout Kings County, we wanted to let as many people as we can know all about it. And the Friends, in their ambassador roles, often at library events, we will be there to welcome people and to provide directions and things. On the fundraising side, we've been holding used book sales for decades, and the community will donate books from, their reading libraries, and then we in turn, sell those to the community. We've been doing that for a long time, but it will be put on pause for a while the Hanford Library undergoes a huge remodeling project. So we also do a direct mail program to raise money, as well as apply for grant funds from local and regional businesses and grant funders.
Ashley, there's a lot of events coming up, and you listed quite a few. Can you point us to the website and social media pages where we can find out more information about these events?
Yes, thanks for asking. Our website is kingswithanS.countylibrary.org. And when you get on the website, you can just click the top right corner where it says events, and it'll bring up a whole calendar of all the events at all of our libraries. And on social media, we're Kings County Library all across the board. We're on Facebook, we are on Instagram, and we are on TikTok.
Well, it was great having you both on the show, and I'm excited for National Library Week, and we'd like to thank you for sharing this information with us.
Thank you for having us.
You are very welcome.
And now it's time for Hanford Insider Sports with Eric Bentley.
All three baseball teams continued their winning ways last week, and we'll start with the red-hot Hanford High Bullpups going 3-0 on the week, pitching 3 shutouts. Things got started Wednesday at Tulare Union, where thanks to an 11-run third inning and a 2-home-run, 6 RBI day from Cole Laskanik, the Bullpups picked up the 12-0 run rule victory over the Tribe. And in Friday's home game, the offense picked up where they left off, and the pitching was even better, with 4 different arms combining for the 5-inning no-hitter, as Hanford High yet again made easy work of the Tribe, this time winning 10-0. But Saturday's crosstown showdown with Sierra Pacific went just a little differently. In a pitcher's duel, Bullpup starter Hayden Keeney went 7 shutout innings, striking out 9, but his counterpart, Golden Bears starter Caleb Coolwine, went 7 shutout innings, striking out 10. In extra innings, a 2 RBI knock from Jaden Boone gave Hanford High a 2-0 lead, and Armando Lerma added on another as Hanford High came away victorious 3-0 in 9 innings to improve to 8-4 overall and 4-0 in the WYL. The loss for Sierra Pacific was their only blemish on the week, but it wasn't their only exciting game of the week. We'll start on Monday, where the Golden Bears played host to Lemoore, and after jumping out to a 4-0 lead after 2 innings, the Tigers responded with 6 unanswered to take a 6-4 lead into the final frame. But the Sierra Pacific offense came to life again, scoring 3 in the bottom of the 7th to take a 7-6 victory, with senior Christian Flores knocking in 3 runs in the win. On Tuesday, they hit the road to take on Atascadero, and in a game that, after being tied at 4 in the 4th inning, went to extra innings, eventually the Golden Bears got the winning run across in the top of the 11th to secure the 5-4 win. Ethan Barcelos was phenomenal for Sierra Pacific out of the pen in that game, tossing 8 shutout innings in relief. The 8-3 Golden Bears will start league play this week with a home-and-home against CBC. And Hanford West baseball was in action on Friday, suffering a tough 9-1 loss to Clovis North, but turned things around quickly on Saturday as the Huskies offense tallied 7 runs on 14 hits, with Sam Sandoval and Ben Ritchie on the mound combining for the 1-hit shutout in a 7-0 win over Orosi. Hanford West sits at 6-4 on the year and will get league action underway this week, taking on Exeter in a home-and-home. Sticking with Hanford West, but now with softball as they continue their impressive start to the year. On Monday's trip to Tulare, Carmen Vasquez had a 3-hit day and Kennedy Perryman picked up a pair of RBIs as Mission Oak threatened late, but the Huskies came away victorious 7-5. Tuesday's game at Redwood was a back-and-forth contest before a 6-run Rangers 6th was too much for the Huskies to overcome, falling 9-5. And at home on Thursday, Hanford West made quick work of Carruthers, scoring 16 runs in the run rule victory, with Emma Guzman and Kira Nunes each knocking in 3 runs apiece. The Huskies sit at 9-2 heading into a league play matchup with Reedley on Tuesday. Sierra Pacific softball picked up a pair of wins last week. On Tuesday, the old adage, put the ball in play and good things happen, was in full effect as the Golden Bears tallied 9 runs on 10 hits, with the Lemoore defense also committing 5 errors in the 9-4 Sierra Pacific win. And on Thursday at home, almost all the offense came in 1 inning as the Golden Bears scored 9 of their 10 runs in the 3rd inning of their 10-8 win, with 7 different players tallying a hit, and Misha Soares leading the way with a 3-hit day as Sierra Pacific improves to 6-5 on the season. And Hanford High softball was only in action once last week, taking down El Diamante 4-0, with Jaden Enriquez and Gabby Castellanos picking up big RBI knocks, and Marissa Villarreal in the circle going all 7, striking out 3 in the 3-hit shutout. At 5-5-1 overall, the Bullpups will see their league action start this week. As always, we like to cover as many local sports as we can, so if you have a score report, a story, or a team update, please let us know at hanfordinsider@gmail.com. I'm Eric Bentley, and this has been your Hanford Insider Sports Report.
That's all the time we have for this week's show. If you enjoyed this podcast and you'd like to show your support, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/Hanford Insider to make a donation. If you'd like to join the Hanford Insider email list, stop by my website at hanfordinsider.com to sign up for updates. You'll also get an exclusive copy of my newsletter in your inbox each week. I also need your help getting the word out about the show by liking and sharing on social media or telling a friend. For more information about this show, you can find this podcast on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, X, and YouTube at Hanford Insider. If you have a show idea, be sure to email me at hanfordinsider@gmail.com and I'll look into it. Thanks for listening. Have a great week.